We are now talking to Florida Gators quarterback recruit Carlos Del Rio. What's going on, Carlos?
What's going on? How you doing?
Man, we like to have fun on this show. We are very unique and very different when it comes to our interviews. You're going to have a lot of fun with us, so get ready.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I've been reading stories about you, Carlos, and it's very, very interesting. I actually read a story from Florida.rivals.com. It says, what prompted quarterback Carlos Del Rio to warn UF commits about other programs? Now, I read this story, and it's a very, very interesting story. But before we get into the story, I want to get into how are you and your family doing with this pandemic?
Me and my family doing great. Really staying social distancing. My mom and my pops really haven't been getting out of the house. I've been getting out of the house, going to the field a lot, but definitely staying safe when I do get out of the house.
Well, I will say this. I think you remind me of me, okay? You speak on how you feel. And reading this article, it really expresses who you are as a leader and as a quarterback. As a person and leadership, the skills that you need to play the position at quarterback, it really holds water when you read a story like this. Why don't you tell the fans a little bit about this story? I don't know if you read this story.
Basically, I was just letting everybody know that, putting these recruits on game, letting them know, all these coaches that you talk to, they're going to tell you what you want to hear, obviously. They're going to tell you what you would like. But that's not what it's always about, because the school might tell you that you're that guy. Once you get to this school, you guaranteed the starting position, and you go there, and you be ready to start. But you get there, and you wind up being on scout team or fourth team, and you don't even play till your junior year, but because you fell for what they told you. But me, I'm looking for a school that will make me compete, because I'm a competitor. And if you're a competitor and you're looking for a team that's going to make you compete, that's what Florida brings to the table. So I know me versus the next guy, I'm always beat him out.
Now, as you guys know, we are talking to Florida Gators quarterback recruit Carlos Del Rio.
What made you go to Florida the most? Dan Mullen, again, one of the better recruiters in the nation since he's gotten there, and they've really built a nice program there. They were top 10 in the nation the last couple of years, really good recruiting. What about Dan Mullen really lured you in to join this Florida program?
I just like his techniques with quarterbacks. Everybody know around the world that he's a quarterback guru. And me being a quarterback that I am, I knew I just needed a coach in college that'll help me push me to the next level. And, having to talk with Dan Mullen, having to talk with Brian Johnson, they most definitely going to push me and help me get to the next level of my game. So that was a big impact of my commitment.
Now, Carlos, the quarterback position is, to me, the most important position when it comes to football. What made you play the position when you were a young kid? Did you ever play any other positions? Were you a corner? Were you a wide receiver? Because to me, moving forward from high school to college and then possibly the NFL, it is the most important position of understanding audibles, the line of scrimmage, understanding the plays, watching the linebackers move, shifting from the defensive lineman. What made you play the quarterback position?
Actually, I did play a couple of different positions at first. First playing football, I played lineman, then I got moved to running back, then receiver, then linebacker, then safety. And then I moved back to a receiver. And I think when I was about 6 years old, during the practice, I used to run routes. The quarterback used to throw me the ball, and I would always catch it about 20, 25 yards downfield and throw it back to the quarterback. And it'll always go right to the quarterback with a perfect spiral. So the coach, he seen something in me. He flipped me in the quarterback. So the recent quarterback went to receiver, and I went to quarterback. And ever since then, it was just taking off from there.
Who are some of your influences growing up, whether it was a quarterback or just any player from one of the other positions you played? When you were growing up, which player made you idolize the game of football and maybe say, I want to be this guy?
My biggest influence would probably be my big cousin. He played football when he was in high school and I was in elementary. I used to go to his games and see the way that he used to push himself and push his teammates. So that I always wanted me to be on the team and push my players and be able to compete against others.
As you guys know, we are talking to Florida Gators quarterback recruit Carlos Del Rio. Now, Florida has had a lot of prestige quarterbacks over the years that have played for the school. You have Tim Tebow, Chris Leak, Danny Werfel, Rex Grossman, and Cam Newton and Jacoby Brissett. A lot of these guys had the opportunity to play in the NFL. Do you see yourself as the next coming big-time quarterback for the Florida Gators, and why?
Most definitely, I see myself as the next big-time quarterback. I see myself as a big-time quarterback because the way that I grind for the game, the way I grind for where I want to get to, I treat every workout and every practice like it's my last because, I grew up having a mindset that tomorrow isn't promised. So every workout, I just push to get better or make somebody else better. So knowing that my long-term goal is making it to the NFL so I could make sure that my mom and my dad doesn't ever have to work again and make sure that my sisters and my brothers and my aunties are all straight. That's most definitely a goal that I want to get to. So every time I'm working out, every time I'm in practice, every time I'm in the game, I have that goal on my mind. And, I'm pushing myself to get there.
Dan Mullen, since he's come to Florida, he's recruited a lot more pocket-type quarterbacks, and you're more of a dual-threat quarterback and do a lot of different things. Do you think that'll make it harder for you to learn the playbook as a whole, or do you think they could adjust some things to help you and maybe tend to your game more in terms of maybe doing that dual-threat college football identity that works very well?
Instead of them adjusting, I'm very able to adjust to different things. So if they want me to stay in the pocket the whole season, I'm most definitely able to stay in the pocket the whole season. I'm not that much of a dual threat quarterback, but last year that's what my coach wanted me to do. So me being able to adjust to adversity, I told him, I'm able to do whatever. You want me to run, I'm gonna run. You want me to throw, I'm gonna throw. I'm just that quarterback that's gonna, listen to the coach and do what I'm told and do whatever I feel is right.
As you guys know, we are talking to Florida Gators quarterback recruit Carlos Del Rio. Now, Carlos, the mobile quarterback has really transitioned the game in the NFL. You talked about Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, and Cam Newton. Cam Newton, who played for the Florida Gators before he went to Auburn. When you look at the dual threat and the ability of some of these athletic quarterbacks that have come out of college, and you look at yourself, could you compare yourself to these type of quarterbacks?
I would probably compare myself to Cam Newton, because of his size and the way that he runs with a passion. He's willing to run through somebody, he's willing to run around, and he's willing to run over him. And that's definitely what I'm willing to do. Whether the game is on the line or not, I'm willing to, gain yards. But most quarterbacks are, willing to get out of bounds. I know that's good to protect your body, but I feel that my body is solid enough that I could go through somebody.
I love this kid. I told you I was going to love this kid. I told you.
Carlos, you're in the best conference in college football for a long time in the SEC. Is there any one opponent that you're most looking forward to playing to, and why?
I'm most looking forward to playing Alabama. I want to play Alabama for one because my brother's gonna be on the team, Jagon Baker. For two, everybody feels as if Alabama is one of the top schools. They feel that's the best school, but I want to show them that Florida is the best school once I get there, and it's gonna start going up from there.
Oh, man. Well, I'll tell you this, Carlos. You have the personality and the drive. I think you're going to be a great player. But when I look at the game of football, and really, especially college football, you talk about Alabama. Alabama has built great defensive teams. So has Florida over the years. When you look at the transition of the SEC, from the Big Ten, or all the different leagues that you see over the last couple of years, do you think the SEC is the most powerful league, and why?
Definitely. The SEC definitely has a lot of big body players. The SEC is for big body players. They produce a lot of strong and aggressive players. Going to an SEC school, they're guaranteed to make you bigger. Even if you come in small, you're gonna come in one of the biggest at that school. So I do definitely feel like SEC is one of the top-notch big schools for big-time players.
One of the big things they're always known for too is defense, especially.
I said that.
And a lot of NFL recruits. Does that make it more challenging as a quarterback for you coming in? And if so, how does that affect your expectations and your mentality going in, knowing that you're going to play a lot of those types of defenses, including, like you and Errol were saying, Alabama?
It definitely challenges the quarterbacks because, you could be playing these little small teams and go 10 for 12 or, 12 for 15, and that'll be good because you're playing these small teams. But once you get to these big teams and big defenses, every pass is a pass that has to be made, or every run is a run that has to be gain yards, or every decision has to be a smart decision because it could cost you at the end. So playing these great teams definitely would challenge the quarterback because it's challenging them to, be better than they were before.
Well, Carlos, I'll tell you this. I like to have fun with all the different people that we get on the show. And I ask a lot of the different athletes or even some of the coaches, what kind of music do you like? And if you like that particular music, is there a particular artist that you listen to before you get on the field?
I like rap music.
Okay, what kind of rap music do you like? Come on, give me something.
I listen to Lil Baby occasionally.
Okay.
Rallo Rodriguez,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Gates.
Mm-hmm. I actually know Kevin Gates, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And probably Quando Rondo.
Well, out of all those guys, I love Kevin Gates. Also, I've been in the studio with Kevin. Pretty straight, down-to-earth guy. He's got great street music, absolutely great street music. But are you the dancer on your team? Are you the guy that really shows when you're scoring a touchdown? Are you the guy that's going to go out and break it down and stuff like that? Or are you the guy that just kind of hands the football to the referee and just leaves it alone?
I'm the dancer.
I know you're the dancer.
Yeah, I'm the celebrator.
I'm the celebrator. So what if you score your first touchdown in your first Florida Gators game, what kind of dance are you going to give us? Are you going to give us a straight out break dance? You're going to do the worm? What are you going to do, man? I want to help you out here on the show. So when you score your first touchdown, you do the dance that I actually work out with you here. So I could say, I'm the one who told him to make that dance.
Yeah, it's really no telling. Once I get on the field, a couple of my highlights, you'll see me dancing when I score, but I never think about it or prepare for it before the game. Once I score, it'll just come to mind, and I just start getting jiggy with it.
That's one of my favorite songs, by the way. Will Smith.
Carlos, in terms of any level of football that you've played at so far, what is your favorite game you've played in and the craziest game you've played in?
My favorite game I played in probably be Marietta, my junior year. That was my favorite game because they beat us in my sophomore year, and we were definitely out for revenge. They beat us at our home field, and we went to them my junior year, and we definitely got our get back.
See, I love this kid. Revenge. That's what he likes. Yeah. Revenge. I love it.
The craziest game would be Lowndes, my sophomore year. We were down about 35 halftime. And then third quarter, we were down about 42. Came back with about a minute left in the game. The score was tied up. I actually remember this play. It was a out route by the slot and a fade by the outside receiver. I pump faked the corner, bit on it, and I led the outside receiver on the fade to the touchdown. He caught it, scored. We won that game. Everybody went crazy. It was in the newspapers, all that. So that was definitely one of the craziest games because after their whole stadium was filled up with Lowndes fans. They were going crazy when they were winning. And once that receiver caught that ball with their last minute left, it just got so silent. And I was just asking everybody, where the noise went. That was most definitely the craziest game.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's outspoken and he loves revenge. I love it.